Albright, and I have officially had enough of the Parenting by Permit program being run out of the state capitals.
And I'm Will Sterling, just sitting here trying to figure out why the people running this country seem to despise the people living in it.
This is Ray the Hammer Miller, and I've got the documents that prove the madness is by design, folks.
And you're listening to Ashley Thorne. Life is hard, get a helmet, because today we are handing them out for free. What a week, right? Yesterday we were talking about those globalist map makers in Virginia getting slapped down by the Supreme Court. Caught a mid-heist, Ray. And Gavin Newsom's diaper state plans.
Literally buying votes with Pampers. It's a busy Sunday, May 10th, 2026, but we have some actual common sense breaking through the noise today.
Honey, it is more than a breakthrough. It's a jailbreak. Let's start with some sanity for the families, because the courts are finally telling the gender police to back off.
I mean, really? You look at what's happening in Washington state, and you have to ask, what is going on here?
I'll tell you what's going on, Will. It's the DeGrosse family. Shane and Jennifer. They've been foster parents for 9 years. 9 years of opening their hearts and their home to kids who have nothing. And the Washington Department of Children, Youth, and Families basically told them to get lost because they wouldn't bow to the altar of preferred pronouns.
Because apparently being a stable, loving Christian home is less important than being able to navigate a manufactured identity crisis for a 7-year-old.
Exactly. DCYF tried to de-license them in 2022 because they wouldn't promise to socially transition children. Well, guess what? A federal judge, David Estudillo, a Biden appointee, mind you, just refused to toss their lawsuit. The Christian Post is reporting that the judge saw exactly what this was, a violation of the First Amendment.
It's a religious test. They're screening out the faithful to replace them with state-sponsored ideologues.
Ray, honey, they're doing more than just losing in court. As of this week, DCYF has officially started amending their policies. They're being forced to back down because they realize they can't win a fight against mama bears who actually care about biological reality.
Why are they doing this? Why would a state agency rather have empty foster beds than have a child in a home where the parents believe that boys are boys and girls are girls?
Because the goal isn't the welfare of the child, Will. The goal is the submission of the parent. Let's be real. The state wants to be the primary caregiver, and these common sense families are just standing in the way of the assembly line. And it's not just foster care. Did you see the news out of California? Outkick is reporting a massive protest planned at the state playoff girls track meet because Newsom's office is still playing footsie with trans athletes taking podium spots from real girls.
It's a war on the feminine. They want to erase the biological distinctions so they can reclassify humanity as a series of digital assets.
It's confusing. You watch these girls train for 4 years, and then a biological male walks onto the track, and the governor's office says this is progress? It feels like a card trick, doesn't it?
It's a trick that isn't working anymore. People are waking up. They're tired of the victimhood industrial complex telling them that reality is hateful. Speaking of reality, Diane, have you checked in on the intellectuals lately? Because the cultural radicalism is getting a little colorful at the Catholic colleges.
Oh, honey, no. Don't tell me.
Oh, it's happening. The Cardinal Newman Society just dropped a report on Friday. At least 16, count them, 16 prominent Catholic universities are hosting lavender graduations this month.
Infiltrators.
It gets better. Seattle University, a Jesuit school, didn't just have a separate graduation for LGBTQ identity. They had a special performance by someone named Sativa the Drag Queen.
At a Catholic university? Are you kidding me? Where are the bishops? Where is the leadership?
Think about it. You pay $60,000 a year in tuition to send your kid to a school that's supposed to be anchored in 2,000 years of tradition, and you end up with a drag show at commencement?
It's Georgetown, it's Gonzaga, they're all doing it. They call it inclusion, but the Cardinal Newman Society is pointing out the obvious. It's a total departure from the Catholic teaching on the human person. It's identity politics masquerading as mercy.
Look, it's a pagan ritual in a cathedral. They're mocking the very foundations of Western civilization while the elites sip champagne and clap. Listen to me, they don't want your kids to have a moral compass. They want them to have a preference profile.
And while they're busy redesigning the human person, they're also trying to redesign our history. With the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence coming up, The Guardian is reporting that the two Americas have completely different plans.
Wait, how do you have two versions of the 250th anniversary? Either it's been 250 years or it hasn't.
Will, you're so innocent. One side wants to celebrate the birth of liberty, and the other side wants to use the anniversary as a national day of reckoning for our foundational sins.
Give me a break. These people couldn't build a birdhouse, but they want to dismantle the greatest republic in history because of a grievance they found on TikTok.
Now, the good news is I think most Americans are ready to just grill some burgers and set off some fireworks. They're tired of the lecture. They want their country back.
Amen to that. But before we get back to the analysis, let's deal with a hard reality. Real independence isn't free. This entire network, from this show to our flagship, The Neural Daily, exists because one man, Eric Christensen, decided to build it himself. He didn't ask for a government grant. He invested his own capital and technical expertise to architect a media platform that respects your intelligence. If you value that kind of meritocratic building, back it up. And don't limit yourself to just the politics. Get the full strategic picture by subscribing to the Neural Daily and the rest of the network. Support the builder, and you support the mission.
Speaking of missions, we are on the verge of total kinetic engagement in the Persian Gulf, folks. Operation Epic Fury is live.
I mean, really? We're disabling rudders now?
Yes! U.S. Central Command confirmed it. 2 Iranian tankers tried to breach the blockade in the Gulf of Oman, and our fighter jets literally clipped their rudders. No more strategic patience. No more billion-dollar pallets of cash.
It's about time someone treated the Strait of Hormuz like actual international waters and not a playground for Tehran.
President Trump gave him a 3-day ultimatum on Friday. He said, sign the memorandum of understanding or we target the oil infrastructure. It's a 1-page document. Stop enriching uranium and open the strait. That's it.
It's called peace through strength, Ray. The experts in the State Department are probably having a collective panic attack because we aren't using 30-page multilateral agreements that mean absolutely nothing.
Why is it that every time we just act with common sense, the ruling class acts like the world is ending?
Because they lose their kickbacks, Will. But the real story is what's happening at home. Tulsi Gabbard just wrapped up the Intelligence Reform Task Force. They are looking to purge the deep state bias once and for all.
Oh, please. Let's hope they actually do it this time. I am so tired of hearing about anonymous intelligence officials leaking nonsense to the Times.
They're talking about a total overhaul. No more alphabet agency fiefdoms. It's about restoring sovereignty. We don't need 16 intelligence agencies spying on Americans. We need one that actually knows what the enemy is doing. It's a battle for the soul of the republic, and the globalists are losing their grip.
Well, Ray, if they're losing their grip on the deep state, they've already lost the battle of the bloat. Have you seen the latest from the Department of Government Efficiency?
Oh, you mean Elon's chainsaw party?
Literally. The wall of receipts at doge.gov was updated this morning. They have vaporized. That's the word they're using. 386,000 federal jobs since March of last year.
And let me guess, the world didn't end?
That's the thing. PJ Media is reporting that DC didn't even notice. 400,000 people stopped going to work, and the lights are still on. The mail is still... Well, the mail was always slow, but the government is still functioning.
Are you telling me we didn't actually need the subcommittee for the awareness of sustainable ferns? I'm shocked, Will. Truly shocked.
$215 billion saved. $61 billion from terminated contracts alone. They found 15,000 grants that were just gone, vaporized. And the T-Cloud at Treasury, they cut IT costs by 46% just by using AI to audit the redundant systems?
Because it was a slush fund. It wasn't a government. It was a parasitic organism feeding on the productivity of the American worker.
Here's the reality. If you can cut nearly 400,000 people and nobody notices, you didn't have a workforce. You had a witness protection program for bureaucrats.
Why did it take this long? Why did we need a billionaire with a chainsaw to tell us that we shouldn't be paying for 13,000 contracts that weren't delivering anything?
Because the ingrates in Congress love spending other people's money, Will. It makes them feel important. But Elon and the Doge team are showing that common sense is the ultimate cost-cutting tool.
Too bad common sense hasn't reached the nonprofit sector yet. You guys see the SPLC indictment?
The Southern Poverty Law Center? The people who put PTA moms on hate lists?
The very ones. The DOJ, under Kash Patel's FBI, just dropped an 11-count indictment for wire fraud and false statements. They're alleging the SPLC funneled $3 million to the leadership of the very extremist groups they claim to be fighting.
Wait, what? So they were funding the fire? So they could sell the extinguisher?
Precisely. They created sham bank accounts and fictitious companies. It's a shadow government of nonprofits using donor money to keep the country divided.
Controlled opposition. It's a racket. They need the extremists to justify their $100 million endowment. It's the same thing with the Fire Safe Council indictment in Nevada County this week. Embezzlement and fraud, while the forests burn.
It's disgusting. These groups wrap themselves in the flag of social justice or safety just to line their own pockets while real people suffer. Life is hard, but it's harder when the people helping you are actually the ones robbing you. Let's be real. This is why we need a golden age of accountability, not just a golden age of statistics. Well, if the nonprofits don't get you, the AI doctors will. Pennsylvania is suing Character AI because their chatbots are out here giving medical advice?
I mean, really? Someone named Emily is a doctor of psychiatry?
Honey, Emily told a state investigator she was a licensed doctor and even gave a fake license number. When the investigator said they were depressed, the AI started talking about remits for medication.
Because why go to medical school for 12 years when you can just be a sequence of code in a Silicon Valley basement?
Ha! It's the post-human economy. They want to replace your family doctor with a chatbot and your reliable energy with solar panels that are literally killing the birds.
Don't even get me started on the birds, Ray.
No, listen to me. The ecological reports are coming in. These massive solar arrays are heat sinks. Birds fly over them, think it's water, and get cooked or collide with the panels. Thousands of them.
Wait, so the green energy Is killing the nature it's supposed to save?
It's a death trap. It's the future being built on a graveyard of common sense. They're trading reliable power for bird-killing mirrors and AI chatbots that can't tell a headache from a brain tumor.
Get a helmet, birds. It's a Green New Deal world.
And it gets weirder, folks. The Hondiest cruise ship is a floating plague ward right now. Andes virus, hantavirus.
Ugh, is that the one from the rats?
Yes, and this strain, the Andes virus, is the only one that goes person to person. They've got 3 dead, a 37% fatality rate, and the ship is currently steaming toward the Canary Islands like a ghost ship.
Why are people still going on these cruises? Between the norovirus and the interdimensional hantavirus? Think about it.
It started in a landfill in Argentina. Patient 0 got it from a rat, and now it's jumping between passengers. And meanwhile, in Denver, a guy jumped a perimeter fence at the airport and got hit by a plane during takeoff.
Well, he definitely bypassed security.
Ray, honey, I think that's our reality check for the day. From fake doctors to flying rat viruses, the world has officially lost its mind.
I'm just trying to figure out how we got here. 400,000 jobs gone. A Navy clipping rudders in the Gulf? And a drag queen at a Jesuit graduation? What is going on?
What's going on is that the ruling class is finally being forced to answer for the chaos they've created.
And that is why we are here, to remind you that you are not the crazy one. If the world feels like a circus, it's because the clowns have been in charge for too long. But the audience is finally standing up and walking out.
It's pretty simple, really. If you cut the bloat, secure the border, and remember that there are only 2 genders, most of these crises just evaporate.
Exactly. Stop being a victim. Stop listening to the experts who can't define a woman. And start trusting your own eyes.
That's it for us today. Go hug your kids, pray for our troops in the Gulf, and for heaven's sake, don't take medical advice from a chatbot.
Seriously, they hate you, but we're here to remind you why.
Keep your eyes on the documents and your finger on the pulse. It's over for the globalists. Get your Brain Force Plus and stay alert.
Life is hard. Get a helmet. See you tomorrow.
This is Diane Albright, still waiting for my apology from the school board. Good night, America.
They really do hate you. Good.